Revelations 3 and 18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, and that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, and thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thy eyes with eye salves, that thou mayest see. Our memory verse. The congregation at Laodicea was much better off in the material way than the one at Smyrna. Yet the all-seeing eye of Christ saw their poverty. They thought they were rich because they had increased with goods. They thought they had need of nothing. But Jesus told them, you are wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked. So he counseled them to buy of him gold tried in the fire. Thus, gold symbolizes the truth. Solomon said we should buy it and sell it not. Christ is saying the same thing. Buy the truth, pay the price for truth, whatever it may cost you, home, friends, or job. There's nothing is too, those things, if we lose our home, if we lose our friends, if we lose our job, for Christ's sake, it's still worth it. Thus is the way to obtain true riches, for Jesus said, buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich. Okay. You know, the Laodicean, they had a lot more material possessions, but they didn't have the true riches of Christ. And, you know, that's sad. I kind of like be like Brother Hartley. I'd rather live in a tar paper shack and stay saved if that's what it takes. I just have to believe that if God saw fit, he would give me grace to do it. I know thinking of right now it wouldn't be easy, but I do know that if God sees fit for me to have less, I just want to stay committed to him. You know, and in my lifetime, even since I've been saved, when we first got married, we didn't have a lot of possessions. We owned a waterbed. Let's see what else. I had something else. And then after we got married, because the waterbed had been taken down at some point, so we put it back up. Well, it had a leak. All right, what are you going to do? You got a waterbed that's got a leak. But, God bless that he had an aunt, and she had a bed, and she had a couch. So, we were doing pretty good there. We lived in a little room, a one-room thing off the back of this lady's house. We had our bed on one end, and we had a little kitchen area on the other end. And, but God, I just never remember thinking, oh, this is so bad. Why can't I have this? I was just thankful for what I had. And God increased us, and he blessed us to be able to move up. We moved from there to a little shotgun house. It was very cold in the winter, but you know what? It was perfect for us, and I appreciate God just made a way. We got the things that we needed. I have great memories in that house. Brother Hartley driving, from Mobile, Alabama every Sunday. So the different saints would have them over, and we'd have them over, and he loved his cat head biscuits. But, those are it's things that we can cherish. We can look at our past and say, I might not have had as much, but I was still happy because I still had Christ within my heart. And I know that there is nothing of this world. If God saw fit to take what I have today, I believe I can say, God, just not my will, but thy will. And that's what I want to keep that mindset. Okay, conclusion. Jesus gives us a parable in Luke 16 of a man who was unfaithful in the trust that was placed in him. Then this question is asked, If therefore you have not been faithful in the unrighteous mammon, who will commit to your trust the true riches? Luke 16:11. God has been so good to all of us, and he's given us many rich blessings, but he never intended for us to make the things of this world our God. He is true and the living God. He is the true and living God. And if we would know true riches in this world and in the one to come, we must put him and his work first in our lives. So the true riches here, and then we can take the true riches over into heaven with us, because you're not taking your possessions with you. Only the riches of salvation of Christ and all that he done for us. And I just appreciate that so much. What to you are true riches? We'll just ask these questions since we have a few minutes. I guess we've got a few minutes. What to you are true riches? Salvation. Yes, those are the truth. And joy, peace. Love, joy, peace. Long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Those are all those things. What would you say is the value of your own soul? You can't, and it doesn't matter, as it said earlier in the lesson, if I have to give up my house, if I have to give up a friend, I've had to give up friends. If I've had to give up jobs, whatever. And I thought about this when I was doing the thing about jobs. People that are saved, sometimes they get a promotion. And that promotion, God may see that it may not always be for the good of their soul. So that's where we have to really say, okay, God, I want your will in this. If this promotion can keep me in line with you like I need to, then so be it. But if not, I don't want it, because I want to keep you first. And there are jobs that take people away from Christ, okay? You think about it. When you take on a job and it takes more responsibility, it's going to take more of your time from your devotion time. Maybe take time from you coming to church. Sister Wingate, there's all kind of things that we have to take into consideration.
Sister Sanford, that is true. You don't know what you will give up your soul for until if something comes to you. There was a lady in New Smyrna. Her name was Ann Huffman. Mm-hmm. And I shouldn't have called her name, I guess, over here. Her husband won the lottery, $1 million. She was the sweetest lady. We were dearest friends. She helped me with Rebecca's wedding and everything. Mm-hmm. But when he won that $1 million, somewhere in there she got lost. And she never made it back. I don't know if she made it back later on, right, maybe in her life, but she gave up her soul for, right, it appeared to be for that money that her husband won.
Yeah, that's why we need to guard ourselves, saints. Appreciate y'all.